Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video about karma and what they don't see coming for wronging you. So in this video we're going to be talking about toxic family members, coworkers, pretty much anyone who seems to have the upper hand at the moment. So let's see what they got coming. I'm going to put the piles up for you to select from in a second. For group 1 we have this Lapis Lazuli and Eris as the card. For group 2, we have Jade and Eros. For group 3, we have Larimar and Waning Crescent Moon. And for group 4, we have this Lemurian Quartz and the 12th house. So go ahead and select your piles using your intuition. I will post the timestamps in the description and in the comments so you can skip forward to your pile. So I will give you a few moments to meditate and choose your pile. Okay, group 1, those of you who picked the Lapis Lazuli and this Eris card, this is your reading on the karma they don't see coming for wronging you. So, this is kind of probably going to be an interesting reading. So here with Eris, we have the goddess Eris, right? So this is the goddess of destruction, not destruction, like strife and discord. Well, you can say destruction in a way because just very... I think just enjoy to see strife and discord amongst people. Started the Trojan Wars, according to Greek mythology. Just a lot of fighting, and really thrived in conflict. So I'm getting that this person that is wronging you is a person that enjoys conflict, likes to egg it on, likes to play both sides, because that's something that Eris did as well, is sort of played both sides to continue on fighting, right? So even beyond, when the conflict was done or whatever the case, right? Just wanted it to kind of keep going and relished in that, and had a son named Strife as well. So maybe this is also could be family. Seems like the family was dysfunctional and enjoyed that sort of dysfunction, or got pleasure, or something like that. So this could be a dysfunctional family member, or it could just be a person who thrives in chaos and conflict and enjoys to see other people suffering. Here we have heart chakra in reverse. And so I just get the feeling of this person just having a really closed off heart, not really getting to experience okay, with my eyes will see what I desire. And I'm associating with the heart chakra. If what you want to see is conflict and strife for others, that's what you're going to experience in your heart. If you want to see love and friendship and just these positive things, you're going to feel that in your heart too. They kind of go together. So part of this person's karma, I feel is sort of being how they are, in the sense that, your body reacts to your heart. Your body sort of reacts, how do I explain this? But your body reacts to how you're feeling, right? So it's that saying of, resentment is like drinking poison, or being mad at someone else, but you're the one drinking the poison, sort of thing. You're trying to poison someone else, but you're the one drinking it. So I get that sort of as a karma for this person, but there's more to it than just that. So in saying that, this person, I'm also getting with this four, it's a very interesting Four of Pentacles as well, because you could see here how this person is very much tied to either their material possessions, is very it's just very closed off. To me, I get this person is very closed off heart, very tied to their material possessions, very stingy, uncaring, but what I'm seeing with this reading is that we have the Judgment card, right? We have balance in reverse, Archangel Zadkiel, the need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise, waiting for perfect timing. So this doesn't seem like a person who is cooperative or compromising. They're a person who wants to retaliate and have revenge and just sort of has like this very spiteful heart. So even with Archangel Zadkiel, I think he is the angel of mercy as well. He's said to be the angel that held back Abraham from sacrificing his son. And so with that being in reverse, I'm seeing that there's going to be no mercy for this person in their judgment for the things that they have done. And a big part of that is that everything comes to an end, right? Here you could see the Grim Reaper coming to take away these material possessions or these things that this person holds very dear to them, which to me it looks like material possessions, and just having because I could see it just as being like maybe this person's extremely stingy, this person's greedy, this person wants things for themselves, and is unwilling to change. I'm getting a feeling of this person being very unwilling to change as well, because with movement and the spirit of air, like I'm getting this feeling of like in the universe things are always moving. You know, you could see the universe in her body, and with air it's constantly moving, it's constantly flowing, right? But when you're closed off like this and you're so rigid and holding on, it's like you're just not in this movement or this flow. And it's like their karma is that, you know, the Grim Reaper is coming to collect, and there's going to be no mercy when that time comes. And that time is going to come. And you know, it's funny because I was hearing, because here we have the Ace of Coins and Miracle, which I'll get to that in a second. Because as I was laying out these cards, I was hearing that Usher and Chris Brown song, New Flame. And the lyrics that were coming out were, I don't know what you had planned to do tonight, but I just want to be the one to do you right. And I feel like that was as the Judgment card was coming. And so it's like whatever they had planned, like, I don't know, whatever they're planning or they had planned to do a particular night. And I think that this is something like kind of evil. The Judgment is like, the plan is to do them right, as in to like, correct the balance. Do you get what I'm saying? Is to correct the balance of like, what I'm trying to say is like, to balance things out and kind of give them a taste of their own medicine in a way, or in the sense of like removing the things that they hold very dear to their hearts, right? And it's really material possessions and things that like material possessions, things like that, right? So it's going to happen, I think, suddenly. You know, I get that with this Ace of Coins. Like, I mean, the aces sort of come in sort of out of nowhere, like how a miracle would be. It's something sort of unexpected, something that seems to be supernatural, something out of, you know, just something that just sort of happens that, you know, happens in a way that we weren't able to predict, or it's a miracle, right? So I feel like the karma for this person is going to happen suddenly. And it's going to happen in a way that seems sort of miraculous to the outside observer, where this person is going to have the things that they've been accumulating. Like, I almost get this feeling with this person is like, you know how people sort of like fortress themselves with their money, or with certain things. And when I say fortress themselves, I feel like a person who's like, well, I don't need anyone. I have this. I have money. I have whatever. I'm just going to withhold. And they treat people very poorly as a result of that hoarding in a way. And so that's what I'm getting with this in the heart chakra in reverse. And so the bottom line, the message is pretty clear here. And it's just that, like, you know, the Grim Reaper's coming. You know, everything comes to an end. And I think that's how it's going to happen, is when this person starts to lose everything. And it's material things. Once they start to lose it, That's going to be their judgment. And that's sort of going to rebalance them in a way and help them to sort of change, hopefully. Not necessarily, but I feel like it's going to potentially soften them up or change them in some sort of way, right? Because maybe they'll start to see that they do need people, that all the strife and the discord and the conflict and all those things. It's like when somebody gets sick, right? Or somebody loses their money, someone needs help, now they finally need help. It's gonna have to have an effect on them, right? They can't, I feel like this person wants to separate themselves. Like I'm seeing this person sitting over here, like holding all their coins, like far away from the rest of society or people. It's like, just very separate from everyone else. Closed off from everyone else. So yeah, so some like miracle, some miraculous thing is going to happen and it's going to come in. And it's interesting because this Ace of Coins is actually a purse. It's actually a purse. A coin, like a pocketbook or a coin pouch or something like that. And I'm associating it with this. So this has to do with money. So maybe this person has caused strife or discord or conflict around money. I'm almost feeling it as like, for some people, I guess maybe this is for some of you, having to do with like an inheritance or something where it involves money, where like they're starting to act a certain way. Or you know how like they say like people's true colors come out when there's money involved, or when someone dies and they start coming for the pot. So my eyes will see what I desire. What does this mean? It was in reverse. Yeah, so I think this is just tying into this, because they have this closed off heart, all they see is conflict. I feel like they're just sort of programmed in this way at this point. And so they need like sort of like this act of God or this miracle to come in and to remove all these things that they're holding on to for dear life, to sort of insulate themselves from actually opening their hearts or having to. And so all they desire is material possessions, and that's all that they can see, and that's all that they go for. And it's made them very, I guess, prone to, like, I don't know, like fighting or just being a certain way, Yeah, so that's the reading. I just got a big head rush. Whew. The spirit of air. So maybe because I didn't touch on this, there's something with the spirit of air card and these coins. And the closed off heart chakra. So there's a miracle or there's something that's going to happen. And like I said, out of the blue, like I'm not getting a solid read on what the spirit of air is. But it's associated with this Grim Reaper and this closed off heart chakra and this miracle and judgment. I guess they're going to have a new, I think that this is trying to say that, because the spirit of air is really about new ideas, new things, sort of like the way I just got hit with a head rush. It's like I'm seeing it as like the Ace of Swords is, new ideas, new ways of thinking are going to have to hit them when this Grim Reaper comes in, right? And removes all these possessions or all these things that they've held onto that drive them to cause chaos and conflict and mischief and disorder in people's lives. And so that's what's going to happen, and they're going to have to shift in some sort of way, because it's like I feel like this isn't just about karma in the sense of them being punished. This is karma in the sense of them having to transition and learn. And so the more that they hold on to these things, because it's like they've probably been given opportunities to sort of change in their ways, but because they haven't, it's like something drastic and dramatic has to happen where judgment comes in with like no mercy, to sort of bring in a new wave of ideas, a new way of thinking, because this is about them also evolving and changing, like their character, because that's what I'm getting with this skeleton. Is like I always get with skeletons is like the part of you that remains, or is the part of you that is like consistent and solid, which is their character, their personality. So there's gonna have to be some major shifts that are coming in for them, ultimately after this Grim Reaper coming to collect. Yeah, so that's their karma for wronging you. Yeah, this is pretty intense. All I'm staring at, I know you guys can't see what I'm staring at, is this Grim Reaper. It's just like my eye is on it, and it's gonna come in. It's gonna come in. But they're waiting. Like there's a, like I'm seeing with this Judgment card, I'm seeing like, because to me this is judgment, and this is an angel. It's like they're waiting to blow the trumpet. They're waiting to blow the horn. Like they're giving them opportunity after opportunity. They are communicating to them, but it's not seeming to take an effect. So there's gonna have to be some sort of intervention. That's what I'm getting with a miracle, is this like divine intervention or something supernatural that occurs to change how they view things. My eyes will see what I desire. To change what it is that they're desiring in their hearts, because right now what they desire in their hearts is, like we said, material things, conflict, chaos. Maybe that's the best way for them to get what they want. I'm seeing someone who's sort of opportunistic. I just had an example pop in my mind of, people like I'm getting the example of like in the States, right? Like, when there's, I'm thinking about like, shootings, like mass shootings and guns and things like that, and companies that profit off of warfare. I remember like the war on, I don't know, like the war in Iraq or something like that, right? Where there's companies that profit off of conflict and war. There's companies that profit off of gun violence and gun laws being a certain way. And I'm feeling like with this person, it's like that similar vibe. They profit off of conflict and strife amongst people in some sort of way. Like that's how they operate. And it's almost like they're willing to do whatever it takes to get their coin, and they don't have a heart for others, in the sense that it's like very selfish. Like it's a very selfish thing, that I'm getting from them. And so like with the example that I'm getting too is like these big corporations that profit off of war and all these things, like they're massive. They're very like rich and have a lot of power, say in like the political arena and things like that. And so it's almost like gonna take a miracle to dismantle the influence that they have. Right? Yeah, like my left, I'm like receiving a lot right now. My left hand is just going. But here, I'm seeing something like being cut off at the legs, or being cut off at the root. I don't know. There's definitely more that's going to be revealed with this, but it kind of reminds me like of a big sort of takedown. And I just heard too big to fail. Some of these some things are just, there's that thing of like corporations or like bailouts. Now I'm thinking of like banks, like the banking crisis. And then it's like, are they too big to fail? Because they're so intertwined with the government that, the government, it's like, are they too big to fail? Like the government's not going to want them to fail because they're profiting off of it too. And so this is where this miracle card comes in. There's like so much layers. This goes pretty deep. This goes deep. So, I don't know how this resonates for you guys. I mean, these could just be examples, or this could be of how big or how ingrained this discord and all of this is, that it's going to take a miracle. Or this could be in reference to the karma, like what am I trying to say? Because when I initially came into this reading, I thought that we're talking about an individual here. But I guess we're talking about, this is a goddess. This is something very powerful, right? So this could be something bigger than just an individual, something that goes deeper. Now I'm just thinking of even like DNA, right? If it's a person, this is something that's been going on through generations, right? There's something very deep and strong and powerful about how there's just a lot of depth and power to this reading of how dysfunctional it truly is, how dysfunctional this institution, this person, whatever it is, however it resonates for you guys. I will leave that part for you guys to interpret. So that's their karma. I mean, it's going to be taken away. The Grim Reaper coming to collect. It is what it is. There's going to be no mercy in that. It's going to appear like a miracle. And that's just what it is. So that is your reading, group 1. If you found it helpful, please do give me a like, a comment. Please subscribe to see more videos like this. And I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye. Hi, group 2. Welcome to your reading. Those of you who picked this Jade and Eros, this is your reading on the karma they don't see coming for wronging you. So let's see what they got coming. Okay, so with Eros, I believe this reading is about like romantic love, a romantic partner who has, here we have betrayal, Aunt Nancy. We have judgment in reverse. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. We have adjustment in reverse, which this is the justice card in the Twelfh deck. And so like, I just get the sense that the injustice here was a betrayal, like in love, right? The Four of Swords comes after the Three of Swords, which is about heartbreak and sadness and that sort of thing. So I don't know. I'm just going to run with that. This is about like cheating, or someone cheated, or someone betrayed your trust. It doesn't necessarily have to be cheating, but it's a betrayal of trust in a romantic partnership. So that's what I'm getting already. And so the karma for this person, I feel like this is even the last pile, like I feel like this goes a lot deeper than just what's on the surface of these cards, right? Because here we have worthiness in reverse, right? So I'm getting that part of this person's karma, I hate to use the word karma for this, it's like the sense of unworthiness. Like, I mean, obviously this doesn't come from anywhere, and I don't think that it comes from them betraying you. I feel like this has already been something deep-seated within them prior to this betrayal, and maybe this is what was sort of the catalyst, or not the catalyst, but the thing that prompted or pushed them into. It's reminding me of something someone said to me. This was like an ex-partner, like that they want to do the right thing, but they just don't know how. Or when they have a lot of baggage from the past, from their childhood or something like that, and they just don't know how to move past it, So like I'm getting with this Four of Swords too, like usually, the Four of Swords is about healing or recovery or things like that, but in this sense, I'm getting the feeling of the Nine of Swords, where how this person's holding their stomach and holding their eyes and their forehead, it's like they're still in a lot of pain, but they're just sort of like lying down and trying to, it's almost like, oh, like, what have I done? Like, why did I do this? Sort of feeling. It's like, because I was even wondering too, because I have a lot of decks and I was called to pull from this deck, like why is this the justice card that was pulled, like, and it's adjustments, right? So there's definitely a meaning in that. So this is, I don't want to say this is harder to read. I just think that this is the energy of this person, that they're having difficulty determining. This card is about synergy and healing. This is also another healing card with the blue. And so with synergy, it's about how things function as the whole. It isn't just the individual components. And so sometimes issues are more difficult to resolve when it isn't just one individual part, when parts rely on one another, right? So that's how they work. They work synergistically. If one thing is off, it's going to affect other aspects of their life. I feel like this unworthiness, this is something, I mean, I hate to say it's karma. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Maybe it's something from the past, and this is a karmic cycle that they're in. Because it's all connected. Like, I'm getting this thing of all of this stuff is connected. So this justice card is actually adjustments. Like, they have to make adjustments, but they don't know how. Like, it's almost like they're just in this place right now where they're just sort of like holding their head and their stomach, and they're like in pain over it, and they're just trying to recover. Like, here we can see the same thing with take action in reverse. It's like they can't really take the action to make these adjustments. I almost feel like, I just had this thought of, what's a good example of this feeling that I have? It's like, say you're addicted to something, right? Say you're addicted to alcohol, for example. And, I don't know how to put this example. You have to remove the thing that you're doing to get to the bottom and the root of why you're doing it, because you have to allow it to come up right here. Let your fears dissolve. You have to face their fears. They have to face their fears. I know I'm going on a tangent with this. This is supposed to be their karma, but they have to face their fears of being unworthy. I feel like maybe these betrayals or whatever this person had done, it's like they did it compulsively, or they did it and they don't even know why they did it, or they're driven in some sort of subconscious way because this unworthiness is very deep-seated and rooted. And so it's like they have to sit in not doing those things. The alcoholic has to sit in not drinking in order to uncover and to face that fear, whatever. So say they drink for a particular reason, right? Or they're afraid of feeling their emotions, or they're afraid of, I don't know, whatever it is, of going through withdrawal. But you have to you have to face that fear in order for it to dissolve. You have to allow yourself the space to not drink or not practice or do that thing in order to be able to look at why it is, like, what's going on, like, what are you feeling, what's driving you to want to do it to begin with. So you get to uncover the things that are going on beneath the surface, because all of it is very connected. Like, that's what I'm getting with this synergy card. And like, these adjustments can't take place until there's like a period of rest for this person, a period of reflection, a period of experiencing the pain of whatever it is. Maybe they've been betrayed in the past. Like, maybe there's things that they don't like about themselves with this unworthiness card and light and shadow attributes. Like, I'm getting with this card, because I wondered why it came up. It's one of the cards in the deck, but it's not like, this is how one of the regular cards looks like. It actually has something on it. There's just a couple cards like this. I'm not sure exactly what they're for, but I should probably read the book. But I'm getting that this unworthiness is tied to this light and shadow aspects. Like there's things that in their shadow, or there's things in their background that they feel unworthy about, or that have contributed to their feelings of unworthiness. And okay, so their karma is having to go through this period of sort of sitting with these feelings of unworthiness. And judgment, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. And I feel like a lot of their challenges do come out through like romantic relationships, or through... Oh, and another thing I'm getting too is like, because this is about desire, it's not just about, it's about like passion and desire, and like the things that drive you, or that you feel like passionate about. I feel like with this person, it isn't just about relationships, it's also about the things that they feel like that they have desires to do. It's like they feel unworthy of pursuing those things, or like they're not capable of it, or something along those lines. So right now, it's like their karma is that they have to sort of sit in this feeling of unworthiness. And this isn't like a punishment, I feel like, because even with how this is written, is like, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges, and that's the judgment, right? It's just, it's I feel like this isn't like a harsh judgment, like, oh, this is their karma for what they did. This is like a way of correcting, right? For them to correct these deep-seated things in their shadow of unworthiness that, causes them to act in certain ways where I feel like they're even like betraying themselves. Yeah. And almost for like a new version of themselves to emerge. Like, I feel like there's a confusion over this. There's some confusion over this for them. Like I said, like the way that they're lying here, not able to take action, not able to make the adjustments that they need to. It's hard to, like I said, like it's hard to diagnose. Like, okay, when I say diagnose, it's like, there's the example of like medicine that I can use, right? Where it's like, oh, there's something wrong with this part of your body. But it's like, well, all the body parts of it, like there's a holistic approach, and then like, and then there's like a Western approach that looks at like, kind of dissects things in individual parts, right? And so there's like so many layers to this. There's a lot of layers to this. So this person's going to have to start facing their fears, and sitting with their fears, working through it. I keep going like this, because I feel like it has to be like moved and cleared, and it's going to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And this is like their karma. Because I don't feel like this is a bad person per se. And it's easy. Someone said to me the other day, like, I was like, oh, this person's not bad. They did this, and that. They're like, that sounds like a bad person. And like, I don't know, maybe there's like a compassionate side. Like I said, like I'm getting this compassionate feeling. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. But, you still gotta, I guess, pay the price for what you do, right? It's like that saying of it's not my fault for what happened to me, but I am responsible for like correcting, like, wait, it may not be your fault that certain things happen to you, but it's your responsibility to like heal from it and move past it. And so that's what I'm getting with this reading about their karma is really having to sit with their feelings, in order for it to be revealed, like what sort of adjustments they need to make in their lives, what sorts of fears they need to face, what sorts of things they need to work on. And so they can start to realize that things are actually all connected, right? Like, like same with this card right here, this Eros card is, it's not just about, like, because now I'm thinking of the chakras as well, right? Like, your sacral chakra, right? Like it isn't just about, like these centers are for different things. They control sort of different things, right? Like it isn't just, your emotions or your feelings. It's your creativity. It's your sex drive. It's like they're all connected, right? Like when you're depressed, your sex drive is going to be low. Your desire to get out and work on your dreams, your passions is going to be low. So it's connected in that way. And that's what I mean. Like things function synergistically. And so the impact that this person had you, or this betrayal, or whatever they did, it goes a lot deeper. Like that's I guess the message here. It goes a lot deeper. And so their karma is really to have to sit with it. Because they're really not happy with what's taken place, and they're not happy with the past. And like I said, it may not have been their fault, whatever has happened to them to cause, to sort of ingrain these feelings of unworthiness or whatever, but it's their responsibility to heal it and to look at it and to sit with it and to face it. And until they do, they're not really going to be able to take the appropriate actions to make the right adjustments in their life, so that they can move forward and embrace themselves, like as a whole, right? Because with worthiness, I'm getting this feeling of a wholeness with their light, with their shadow, because it's like, we're made up of light and shadow, right? And so it's like integrating all those parts as well. So that's their karma, I mean, for hurting you, is I think like having to go through this conflict within themselves and having to really take a look at, or just sit with it. They're just going to have to sit with it. So that's reading group 2. If you liked it, please give me a like, leave a comment if you'd like, and subscribe to see more videos like this. Take care, guys. Bye. Okay, hi group 3. Welcome to your reading about the karma they don't see coming for wronging you. So let's see what they have coming. So we have the Predator card right here, number 28. And you see a bear claw, right? It's kind of interesting because there's a bear right here as well. So, but I feel like this bear is on your side, right? Like you are the light. It is safe to fully step into your light. So for me, bears are protectors, right? Like I have a bear that's with me at all times, not all times, but sometimes he pops out, to protect me. And I feel like he's a father figure. It's quite interesting because we have the Emperor here, who is like a father figure or a masculine energy, that's about protection and things like that. So what I'm getting with whoever you're inquiring about is, a predator in the sense of, because it's like he's coming in to help you with this bear. You see the claw right here, who is more of a predator, I would say. And when I say a predator, I think of it just reminded me of what's that show with, was it Chris Hansen? How to Catch a Predator. So it's really about people who prey on others. Because of their kindness, their generosity, attributes about them that they see, that they try to exploit for their benefit. So that's what I'm talking about as a predator here, right? It's in reverse. And so this karma it's like their karma, but it's actually for you. Let me explain what I mean by that. So with this full moon in Gemini, embrace the flow of life. Like here we see two people. I mean, here we see two union, right, as well. So it's like the twos and the union, the masculine and the feminine. The embrace the flow of life, Gemini, you have the two. We have the two predators, like, or one is a predator, one is a protector. So I feel like this person is preying on more of your feminine energy, like the things associated with femininity, like compassion, understanding. Maybe this person talks to you a lot about their issues or their problems, or something like that. Because with this is like I'm getting communication, right? And so with this union card and this emperor, I'm feeling like this karma for this person is you stepping into your power, right? Don't take a backseat in your story. It's time to step up. And stepping up more in your masculine energy with this emperor card. Logic and organization will lead your success. Take charge of the situation, structure and discipline. So I feel like, and then I could see Eris in that too. So I'm seeing with this situation, however this person maybe have taken advantage of you, mistaken your kindness for weakness. It could be that, or it could be that you're very open and generous and giving of your time, your energy, listening to their problems, trying to help them out. Meanwhile, like maybe they're not putting in the effort themselves. So this could resonate in many different ways, but a lot more so being in your feminine energy, right? And so I feel like the karma for this person, and this person sort of takes advantage of that or uses it to their benefit, right? And so their karma is you sort of stepping into your masculine energy a bit more, and then getting this protection, right? Having this protection, and it's a way to protect yourself, right? Like being in our masculine as well. It's about protection. It's about structure. It's about logic and discipline. Like sometimes we have to rely on those attributes as well when things start to, because if it's the union, it's the balance of the two, right? And so that's what I'm seeing is their karma is that they're not able, it's coming to an end, right? With this waning crescent moon. You're going to protect yourself a little bit more. You're going to, step into your own, like focus on yourself, right? Stepping into your power. Don't take a back seat in your own story. It's time to step up. Put yourself first. Use a bit more logic and discernment in dealing with this person or people such as them, right? With this Four of Cups in reverse, it's usually to me a card of excess, of having too much. The fact that it's in reverse, it's like you've kind of had enough of it. You've kind of had enough of it, and you're not going to keep doing it because it's stressing you out. Like with this Larimar crystal, I'm getting is it's stressing you out, and you having to have boundaries with that, or you starting to have a more, I guess, masculine approach in dealing with this person. Here we have the sword, right? The sword of light, the sword of truth. To sort of cut it out, to cut this cord in a way, or to bring balance to it, right? Because no one should really be stressing you out with their problems or their things, right? Like you have to live your life, right? And live your story. So that's sort of like the karma, I guess. And it's not so much, it's more something that is a change that's going to take effect in you. As I described, right? So this is a pretty straightforward message. Embrace the flow of life. Yeah. So I feel like this person has been sort of cutting you off when they talk about, oops, there's my phone, 1 second. That threw me off. That threw me off. Yeah, and maybe that's actually part of the message is this person throws you off, right? Maybe their energy throws you off. Yeah, and maybe you weren't seeing how, like, you were playing a role in this as well. So I'm getting that with the Six of Wands and this Chariot. Like, you didn't know how to move past this. You didn't know how to move forward with this. Because I'm almost getting this feeling of like, um, maybe feeling an obligation to this person, or feeling like, but they were sort of cutting you off. They were cutting you off from your flow, from your chi, right? Um, and so yeah, so that's pretty much the karma. It was just more something that you had to change, and it's not that you're having to change. Like, it's just, it's coming to an end, right? And you're becoming more balanced and unified in your masculine and your feminine, because I feel a lot of feminine energy, but I feel like that's sort of coming to an end, and um, the order, the structure, the logic, um, is going to be more at play with you, and that's going to bring you more in flow with life, and for your desires, and for what you want and how you want to live your life, right? Because it seemed to have been overwhelming with this person, and it sort of held you back from moving forward and from enjoying your life, and not just that, but even accomplishing things, right? Because this Six of Wands to me looks like, it's about accomplishments, like, you mean you have to have order and structure and have limits to certain things in order to achieve the things that you want to achieve, right? And if somebody's throwing you off, then, I mean, like, it's sort of required of you to put limits on it. And I feel like this is the karma. And so when I say karma, it's not sort of a conscious decision that you're necessarily making. It's something that's sort of coming in for you, through the spirit, right? Of knowing that you have to do this, being more okay with it. It's like a transition. And I think you've been very patient with this person. And so this is what's coming up. So now they're gonna have to, I guess that's their karma, is they're gonna have to start to look at other methods of dealing with their own baggage and their own stuff and their own life and their own feelings, their own whatever, right? Like, they can't always come and talk to you about it, and you're not always going to come to the rescue about it. And so yeah, so that's the karma, is that you're, and I feel like this is something that you're being assisted with, because we have the bear right here, the bear spirit, which, as I said at the beginning, is about you're being sort of protected, because they're viewing this person as like a predator, or is preying on certain qualities about you, and is preventing you from accomplishing the things that you're meant to accomplish, or that you want to accomplish. Like, they're holding you back. We have the Chariot in reverse, and so yeah, so that's the karma for them, and they got to deal with their own stuff, right? And they can't overly rely on you, because you have a role that you need to step into as well, or things that you need to accomplish as well. And I think that, like, I'm getting the Emperor is a leader, right? And I'm getting that with the Six of Wands, as someone who's being recognized for something, right? And so I think it's kind of like the good karma for you, because in having to endure this sort of situation, it's brought in this more masculine energy that's going to help you actually move forward and achieve things, like, that you may not have otherwise been able to, had you not encountered this person, and then having to rebalance your masculine and feminine, and step more into your masculine. It's going to help you in other ways of moving forward, and they're going to have to move forward in other ways as well, and they're going to have to sort it out on their own. So that is your reading, group 3. I hope it was helpful. Please give me a like, a subscribe if you'd like to see more videos, and leave a comment if you wish. Take care, guys. Bye. Group 4, welcome to your reading. Those of you who picked this Lemurian Quartz and the 12th house, this is your reading on the karma they didn't see coming for wronging you. So what they have coming. So what I'm seeing here, we have clarity. Clarity is my birthright. Change me, divine beloved, into one who remembers in every moment my true self, love, light, wisdom, and divinity. And setting boundaries, threshold, protection, honor. So what I'm getting here is that the karma is that they don't see coming. I think that you're going to get very, very clear on the boundaries that you're going to set. Um, and these boundaries that you're going to set are going to make you feel very, very good. You know, I'm seeing you as this Nine of Pentacles, someone who's independent, someone who feels good, someone who's fruitful, someone who has self-worth and just feels good overall. But independent, I'm getting independent in large part. And I guess also part of what they don't see coming as well. Like there's a message here with these cards, this one, and this one. Soul alignment. It's time for a radical change. How can you show up for yourself in ways that you never have before? Then we have light at the end of the tunnel. So you could see the dark clouds and this starting to separate and the sun starting to shine through. And so that's in reverse. And you have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And so it seems like it's going to be it's a time of radical change for you, showing up for yourself in ways that you never could have imagined. And a light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like when you set these boundaries and you get very clear on these boundaries that you want to set and really focus on your self-worth and what makes you feel good, this is just going to be a very big change for you. And I feel like the clouds are really going to start to move out of the way for the sun to start shining on you. And there's also a message here about maybe you've been wanting changes for a long time, because first of all, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and you know, there's this confirmation here that, you know, it wasn't quite the right time for these changes to take place, like your soul or you weren't in alignment, or it just wasn't the right time for it. And so you were sort of under this dark cloud, right? And with specialness in 52, we have all these stars. Like I'm getting this starseed energy of being very unique and very different and very special. And I feel like you were in a period of winter, right? Because here we have stillness, and Yoki Ona, the goddess of winter, right? And so I feel like you've been in the dark, in the winter, for a really long time. And you know, because with this Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it's like it just was not the right time. It was not, like the stars were not aligned for you at that time to make those changes that you've probably so desired to want to make. So with the stillness card, I'm also getting like you're still sort of in this winter place, right? Because like this card is in reverse, the light at the end of the tunnel, it's in reverse, right? It's like the clouds haven't cleared yet. You're still in that winter phase, right? But I feel like it's starting to change, and it's going to start changing with the setting boundaries and really getting clear on it. And so there's this like thing about meditation as well, like stillness, and then you see her sitting in this meditative state, and how that's going to make you feel good. And it's very much tied into the radical changes that are going to take place. It's like almost like it's going to go in this process of having clarity on what those boundaries are going to be, really taking your hands, like see how her hands, like she's holding her hands up, like these are the boundaries, these are the limits, and there's like a leopard there, you know, protecting, like having her back, like standing behind her. And so I feel like that's sort of like a confirmation of the alignment. It's like you have helpers now in the spirit standing behind you and helping you set these boundaries. It's like they're giving you that power or that push to get really clear on what those boundaries are in order for you to really feel good. And to, I guess it's almost like part of the alignment is to get into that place of feeling good and feeling worthy. Like I take this card of also being, it's about self-worth, right? It's about self-worth as well. And so being in that alignment is going to help, like that alignment. It's like you're still in the winter, you're still in that season of like it's not spring. It's like you haven't planted the seeds. It's like still beneath the surface, like the time still isn't quite right for it, for opportunities to pop up. But I feel like once these boundaries are set, and like the surprise for the karma and what we're talking about for this individual is how strong you're going to be in maintaining those boundaries, right? Like they're going to see a change in you in that sense, right? How clear they are, how clear you are, how strong you are, how much you're going to stand by your boundaries. And that's going to make you feel a lot better, which in turn is going to put you more in alignment. And as you continue to sort of meditate and stay in this season of like the winter season, it's like you're going to be receiving, because we have the Ace of Coins in reverse. So it's like the opportunity hasn't arrived yet. The idea hasn't arrived yet. It's still still sort of like in the purse. Like it hasn't popped up yet. It's still not quite the time yet with this Wheel of Fortune in reverse. But now you can enter that season where you're going to be more receptive, because when you're meditating, like I'm getting this feeling of you're going to be receiving, you're going to be receptive to what's coming next, like this Ace of Coins, this opportunity or this thing that's coming next. When you get to a place of setting your boundaries, feeling good about yourself, continuing to sort of meditate, then that's when this opportunity is going to come up for you. You know what I mean? That's sort of what I'm getting with this. And so like I don't know who this person is or how they've wronged you or what's happened, but it seems like it's been a really long time. I get this feeling from this, like it's time for a radical change. And when things are radical, it means like it's been a really long time coming. It's like I'm feeling like a really long tunnel, a very long tunnel that you've been through, a really long winter. Like I feel like I just heard like the coldest winter ever, in this regard. Like there's something really long about this, because it's a soul alignment. It's almost like I'm feeling this feeling of like, this is what you've been waiting for. This is what you've been waiting for, right? And it almost, when I said the coldest winter, I'm almost getting a feeling of like depression, right? The coldest winter, when we think about like seasonal affective disorder, and not having the sunlight. And I'm also getting for some, as the karma they don't see coming, is maybe they're going to enter into a period like this as well, of this cold winter, of this depression, of been wanting radical change and been wanting, but it's just like not being able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, you know? So this could be for both of you guys, for you currently, but it's almost like with this Wheel of Fortune, it's like I'm getting this feeling of like the tides turning and fortune changing, and like what goes up must come down, and almost seeing things in like a zero sum sort of way. And when I say zero sum, it's like as some people gain, some people lose. So as you start to get into your soul alignment, as your winter starts to transition into spring, for other people, they're going to start transitioning. Like it's like the other part of the world is going to experience their winter while we're having our summer sort of feeling. Like that's what I'm getting with this reading. So, and I think you're just going to certainly get some clarity on how, with this was in reverse, the specialness card, and now I'm associating it with this Nine of Pentacles and the soul alignment. I think maybe in the past you may have perceived yourself as special or different or unique, but in a way that didn't feel good. But now that I've turned it over, I'm associating it with these two cards, where it's like something that you feel good about. It's tied into your self-worth. And the changes that are coming are are going to like solidify that, and it's going to sort of back that up, and you're going to start to see like the material, or you're going to see evidence of it in the material or physical realm of how it's sort of profitable for you to be special or different, right? But again, this is coming in the future. This isn't right now. And so there's a lot of like mystery and hiddenness that's still going on, because we're still in the winter, and you don't know what's going to blossom, and you don't know what's going to bloom. See, because here you have stillness in the winter, and then ultimately this looks like the summer, and like this coin is like radiating. And so again, I keep being reminded that it's not quite time for this radical change, but in the physical realm, like you're not going to see it, but it is happening beneath the surface, right? And so that's pretty clear. I just got a confirmation that it's there's a lot of clarity that's coming in. Like the wheel of fortune keeps turning, and whoever these people or this individual is, they are going to be surprised by your boundaries, how clear they are, how strong you're gonna stand in them, and over time you're gonna start to feel really good about yourself. I think that will be a surprise for them as well. And so there are these radical changes happening in the works in the winter. Like, I'm thinking of it just came to my mind. You know how people will say like summer bodies are made in the winter? It's like that, right? Like that's the example I just got, is like the work is done. When everyone has their winter coats on and you don't see it, it's not revealed until the summer, but the work is being done. But like, it's like this, you're being, it's like things are just slowly shifting in that sort of way. So even though it doesn't look like work's being done, when you're still and you're receiving, like I'm getting the example too of like, you're going to be in this place where, I don't know, I just see you being very connected, right? Because this is a Lemurian quartz too, right? So when I think of Lemuria, it reminds me of people, or a time where when like there was harmony in the way that people lived, right? And I don't know, I'm just getting a feeling of relying on your instincts, relying on your intuition, like being very receptive and receiving stuff and then acting on it, right? It's not like you're acting on it on your own. It's what's coming to you. It's almost like here you're checking in, like your head is like, see how it's turned this way and then straight forward and to the side. It's like you're getting like a 360 view before you take action. Or that's what I mean by meditating and receiving. It's like you're getting information from all around, and then you take action. So that's your reading group 4. If you liked it, please give it a like, subscribe to see more videos, leave a comment if you wish. I would love to hear from you guys. I will see you guys soon. All the best. Take care. Bye.